This video will cover the Strong Workforce Data Dashboard. This shows the overview of the dashboard. So first, we will talk about the general overview and important information to note for the dashboard. Then we'll go into a detailed overview of outcome trends. And then we will go into a detailed overview of the outcome trends by student characteristics tab and give an example of how to fill out sections of your form. You can access this data dashboard on the Canvas page for the Strong Workforce Institute. So you will click on the page that says Strong Workforce Data Dashboard, and then you will click on the link. So it will take you to the dashboard that is published. And then this info will be relevant on how to fill out your form for Section 1 and part of Section 2. This video will also help explain how analysis can be conducted outside of your project, such as analyzing multiple courses, comparing your outcomes against departments, etc. So first, we will go over information that is important to note for the overall dashboard, and then we will narrow down what information can be found and analyzed in each tab. The first tab is the introduction page. It lists important information such as what types of slicers or filters there are, other important things to know, and definitions of how some metrics are calculated. It's also important to note that any data that has a count of 5 or less is suppressed. This means a graph will appear blank if a certain disaggregation or selected filters have a count of 5 or less. You may write unavailable for parts of the form that this may happen to. Remember to hover over the light bulb as well as the info buttons on each tab for more important notes. Make sure to select your faculty ID on the introduction page. This is the only tab where you have this option. Once selected, only your students' outcomes will be displayed in the graph specific to the Strong Workforce faculty. Then you will begin your analysis on the first tab, labeled Outcome Trends. We will only be looking at all because we will not be selecting someone's faculty ID at random. So this tab allows you to view data and outcomes over time. The data presented in this tab is more for comparing between different terms or academic years, as well as allows you the option to disaggregate your data in a multitude of ways, such as looking at only African American females for your classes by term. It helps show you how students have retained and succeeded for all or some of your courses over time. It also allows you to visually see how you compare to the rest of campus or specific departments. To use this tab, follow the numbered steps by first selecting a metric type, then a time slicer, followed by the courses you want to examine. Throughout, you can use the filters on the right-hand side if you have questions about certain groups or student characteristics you want to drill down more, like we have with African American females. Steps 4 and 5 walk you through how to select your department and department courses. This gives you the ability to further disaggregate by comparing one or more of your courses to the same course within your department. Now, once we clear all of these filters, we will go to the second tab, So the second tab is relevant to your form specifically on page 3. So this tab will be the most useful for you once you explore your data on the first tab. This tab aligns the most with your form, and it is set up the same way as the first tab, where it walks you through numbered steps. This tab includes enrollment as one of the metric type options, as well as allows you to filter by term, session length, and modality. It is important that you determine which course you are using for your project and make sure to select that course for your analysis. For example, for question 1 on your form on page 3, you would select enrollment for metric type, and you would select ethnicity for student characteristic, and then you would select all for course slicer, since at this point you're not interested in further disaggregating your data by a course slicer. Then step 4, you would select the course you are looking at. Steps 5 and 6 are only included if you are curious how your data compares to your departments and is not needed for the purpose of the Strong Workforce Institute form, but we suggest that you look at your data in your department and see how it compares to your course outcomes. So the first graph, which is on the left, is your course outcomes, and the graph on the right is your department outcomes. Use the first graph to fill out the percentages of each ethnicity that make up the ethnic breakdown of enrollment for your selected course. You will do these same steps for gender and age breakdown for the form. After looking at the data, this will help better inform you on trends you see and other questions that may arise around your data. Repeat these same steps for questions 3 through 6 on your form. The last part of section 1 of the form, which is on page 9, is labeled Longitudinal Analysis. This question does not ask for straight percentages, but asks questions about modality, term, time of day, and session length, which would be found in your course slicer dropdown. And this will help you gain a better understanding of how to best answer these questions. The dashboard will also be useful for the beginning part of section 2 on page 11 of your form. All information related to the student characteristics questions will be located in the Select Student Characteristics parameter, which is number 2. Options such as veteran status, foster status, primary language, and others are located in this slicer. Note that we do not have access to some of the information questions such as transportation, disabilities, etc. This again would be a place where you can write unavailable next to these questions where we do not have data available for that specific item. Hopefully this tutorial and walkthrough of our data dashboard was helpful. And if you have any other questions, please contact our IE office.